Skill Up Imo is a premier human capacity development program focused on empowering Imolites with cutting-edge digital skills that will keep them relevant in the 21st century. By combining hard technical skills with soft employability skills, Skill Up Imo will groom well-rounded professionals who can ply their trade at any level in the local and global digital economy. It covers entry and advanced level digital skills such as computer appreciation, device repairs and maintenance, content creation, web design and development, Internet of Things, machine learning, artificial intelligence, big data analytics, cybersecurity, and so on. Joining us now as we further explore the Skill Up Imo project and digital skills training is Dr. Amadi Chimezie, Commissioner for Digital Economy and E-Government, Imo State. He will be joined by Einaya Onwegbu, Chief Political Advisor and Head Political Bureau to Imo State Governor. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
Good morning. Thanks for having me here this morning.
Well, Commissioner Digital Economy, maybe we should start with you.
Thank you.
Just tell us about Skill Up Imo and how it is addressing youth unemployment in Imo State, a state with a very high rate of youth unemployment. What difference has it made so far?
Thank you, Ruben. And I must say that, yes, like you emphasized, a state with a very high level youth unemployment. But I must say that Skill Up Imo has been a pragmatic response to dealing with that issue of youth unemployment. Because His Excellency, in envisioning this program, understand the use of technology to address unemployment and other socioeconomic challenges. In Imo State today, we are known to have the highest literacy rate in Nigeria, and the economic space is not that huge enough to accommodate these youths, giving them opportunity to express themselves. This is not just local to Imo. It's a problem in Africa, it's a problem in Asia. Youth bulge is a problem that we know is facing these two continents hugely. But being a very creative and futuristic leader, His Excellency bettered this program. And like the intro said, is a program aimed at equipping Imo youth with cutting-edge digital skills, Industry 4.0 digital skills that could help them ply their trade anywhere in the world, create opportunities for themselves, create wealth, become employers of labor and not seekers of job. So Skill Up Imo is doing great in terms of creating the best cybersecurity experts, software engineers, digital marketers, and all other skills that we're training. And some of these people are launching their own ventures, launching their own startups, providing digital solutions, creating jobs, and also solving problems for businesses and even government in Imo State and Nigeria beyond. So self-reliance is what Skill Up Imo is ensuring. And also wealth creation is what Skill Up Imo is ensuring. So we give credit to the visionary, His Excellency Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Chimezie. Let me come to you, Mr. Onwegbu. Do you consider sending some of these talents abroad for job opportunities a good strategy?
Well, thank you very much. The best thing would be to start by saying the projection is that Imo State government, through the Skill Up Imo, will train in a year 100,000 Imo youths in digital skills. There is no gainsaying the fact that some of these persons may have to move abroad, may be in Nigeria, may be self-employed. So it is not as if the government on its own will originate moving them out of the country. But in any case, the world is a global village, and you wouldn't say if a person has technical knowledge that can be used overseas, the person will be restrained from going to apply that trade overseas. We all talk about diaspora economic input and foreign exchange earning from that, which is available to all the states. So if some of the percentage of the persons trained under the Skill Up Imo find reason to ply their trade outside of this country, there is a welcome development, and we all should be happy about that. The governor talked about facilitating, encouraging, guaranteeing such persons that they will be gainfully employed and wouldn't have logistics problems moving to those areas. I do not think it is a bad idea because every family really has a diaspora foreign exchange input for them. And anything that will make it work, we support that.
Okay, so I'd like to, get an antecedents for most of these projects. And that you're in charge of this, that you coordinate, I'd like to know your antecedents. Prior to this time, where were you? What was your antecedents? And what has been the antecedents as regards driving this program? Is there also a political undertone to this Skill Up Imo project? And what's the viability across board? People that have been trained and all of that. What's the exit story like?
Okay, thank you very much, Rufai. Before now, I have been in NCC, the Nigerian Communications Commission, and I've been there for over 2 decades. I've headed operations, in the Southwest. I've also headed operation in Abuja, the head office. I rose to the directorate cadre before I left, to support His Excellency in Imo State in building a smart economy. I was heading the emerging technology unit in NCC. So it's been a whole lot of experience. And when I was in NCC, I have also helped in building one of the most viable digital ecosystem in this country by managing grant support and also helping them to innovate better, addressing the challenges that mitigate against the innovation prowess of our people. So it's the former president, upon his approval, that I was asked to go and support the governor of Imo State. And looking at all of this, whether it's political or not, I am not a politician. I am a core technocrat. And this has been my space for a very long time. If there is anything politics in it, I would say it's political credit, because good policies breeds political credit, just like bad policies does the opposite. If good governance is a result of good policies, and if there is a best example of good policy, I think Skill Up Imo should be something that we should reckon with. And other states are already referencing this. His Excellency has never made any political demands from me. Rather, we are using Skill Up Imo to address socioeconomic challenges in the state and also in the country at large. So the end game at the end of the day will be that you have a more prosperous Imo State, a smart economy built in Imo State, Imo citizens becoming proud and sound and doing their thing, becoming one of the best innovators you can find anywhere in the world. So this is empowerment, and you are being given an empowerment of skills that will make you a player in the evolving global digital economy. For us in Skill Up Imo, digital skills is not just about self-development. Rather, it's about laying those building blocks that will help us bet a progressive society.
So is the government going to pay for their trip abroad?
Like His Excellency said, and like the chief political advisor, I was there standing right before him. Before that program, a lot of people we trained in our cohort 1. In cohort 1, we graduated 5,000 people. And some of them that came from families of means, they were able to have the opportunities of traveling abroad, because the idea here is that skills, talent, capital follows opportunity. Opportunity is not limited in Imo. It's not limited in Nigeria. Opportunity, especially in the digital age, is available anywhere in the world. Right in this room, some of us are one-time diasporans, and we have been able to study abroad, optimize ourselves, acquire skills, and right here we are seated here, contributing to building a strong democracy using this platform. So there is nothing wrong if somebody have the opportunity of going abroad to enhance himself. Straight to the question. Yes, His Excellency have said, for those people who are not fortunate, because this is about making a child of nobody a child of somebody, who cannot afford such travel tickets, he is willing. He told them, if they ask you who is your guarantor, say it's Hope Uzodimma. If they ask you who is your referee, say it's Hope Uzodimma. So he is bringing opportunities for everybody. So if you have something to offer to Imo or to the world, He is there for you. He's willing to support you. Realize that objective.
Okay, let me come to you, Chief Political Advisor. How will this project, Skill Up Imo project, train 300,000 persons over 5 years and 100,000 in the first year? I mean, I guess it's not taken off yet, but the question still remains. Is this about the election this year? About the November 11 election? Because you are the Chief Political Advisor, you probably have a political strategy to use this as a campaign issue.
Thank you, Dr. Abati. It is not political. It is actually non-partisan. It is non-sectoral. It is non-nepotic. The only requirement is you resident in Imo. The first is that how we pursue this program is within the last 1 year, the first batch of graduates we've had 5,000, we've had 15,000. The cohort 3 is looking at 40,000 persons. And the idea behind it is that we have satellite training centers in all tertiary institutions in Imo State. We have additional high facility center at the ministry. So in a year, we project that 100 graduates would have gone through the system for that. And achieving 300,000 in 5 years wouldn't be a demanding position because we already have the facilities to do that. But even at that, this empowerment is not limited to digital skills. You remember the governor had earlier on before now carried out a youth empowerment program that gave 250,000 to 25,000 Imo youths to start up small and medium scale industries and be self-sustaining in employment. That was done in collaboration with the Central Bank of Nigeria. The governor had, before now, without regard to politics, done this believing that his duty is to show the light, because Imo had governors in the past who didn't consider these areas very worthwhile. But now the world has moved into a global village. The empowerment program for youths will be aimed, as usual, to empower them to be self-sustaining. It is not partisan, it is not political. And nobody had accused us of running it for political purposes because this started soon after his coming into office. And anybody who thinks it's political can go out to the street and interview Imo youths. The sons of nobodies, those who had no connection, are benefiting. The admission is online. Anybody can go online and get admitted and be available for training. So it is not aimed at the election because it will even live beyond those of the Imo administration because it's a legacy project for Imo people. And anybody in Imo will tell you there's not been any iota of accusation of political undertone in this. And the governor is known before now as a man who pursues a pan-Nigeria disposition. That is why even when he was in the Senate, he headed a Senate committee that probed the customs and realized over 40 billion for the Nigerian government. When he was in aviation, all the airports got facelift, courtesy of his work. So his track record is not because he's Imo governor. He had been a person concerned with economic development. That was why he had the Southeast Development Initiative as a senator himself. So please, disabuse your mind about politics in this. This is about Imo progress. This is about making Imo one of the states that anybody will reckon with in Nigeria. And maybe that's why the governor is now the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, chairman of the Southeastern Governors Forum. We have never had it like this. And Imo people are proud of their governor. I would gladly re-elect him, not because of this project, but because of all he's doing for Imo people and Nigerians to keep Nigeria united, strong, and developing like anywhere in the world. So we don't think it is partisan, and it has never been political and will never be. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Onubu. I'm coming to the Honorable Commissioner. I'd like you to tell us a bit more about this Skill Up project in terms of the age range. So what is the average age range of the beneficiaries? And then the conversation is also, is there any plans for penetration of these skills in basic schools? So in other parts of the world, they are catching them young. You have children as young as 5 years old coding, right? So is there any plans, or is it currently ongoing, whereby these skills are taught in schools, these digital skills? I mean, you're the commissioner for digital skills. So beyond just adults gaining this, are you taking it to schools? Are there children involved in this? And then for Mr. Onubu, I'd like to ask you, since you say there's no political undertone, Why now? I mean, of course, you can bring up any great project at any time, but it looks as if it's been amplified as we come close to election period. And so you might not judge people too harshly for assuming that perhaps it just might be an opportunity to be used as a political tool. And you could see there where the governor was addressing a group of people and promising them 4,000 jobs. And you had alluded that this is part of the plans as well, so that their skill to take on jobs is also a part of campaigning. I'd like you to respond to that after the commissioner.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. In terms of the skills range, we have what we call the basic, intermediate, and advanced skill sets. And the basic, it's things like computer appreciation, car tracking engineering, CCTV installation, and other entrepreneurial skills are being taught. Then when you come to intermediate, you have things like UI, UX design, you have digital marketing, content creation, and the likes. In advance, we look at cybersecurity, IoT, AI. Those are the hard courses that are taught in those areas. For the age range, there is no limit for learning as far as this program is concerned. During holidays, parents in Imo State brought their kids to our center. This is like a finishing school. So holidays, they come for coding competitions, they come for hackathon. We have our instructors who are there, guiding them, providing the teaching, the tools. We are well resourced by His Excellency, has provided state-of-the-art tools, equipment that will enhance learning and teaching. So people, you can walk in at any point in time and start learning. And by the way, This is not paid for by any individual or any learner. It's a purely, scholarship program. It's designed as a scholarship program. So you have the opportunity to walk in and learn. And then for schools, like you said, whether we have plans of domesticating these things in the school. If you look at the Imo Digital Economy Agenda 2022 to 2026, which is the policy trucks that wrap this whole thing, Skill Up Imo is just a strategic initiative from the first pillar of that policy, which is digital literacy and skill. And under it, one of the activities we have there is the Catch Them Young program, whereby we are working with the Commissioner for Education to make sure that these programs are also domesticated in the primary school, in the secondary school, and across board. People are given opportunity to learn. We are in a digital age, an age where digital skills has become like the trade that holds everything and binds everything together. So if you don't have digital skill, you are somehow putting yourself on the fringes of economic development. So what we are doing in Imo is to make technology and transition technology from the fringes of our economic discourse to the mainstream of our economic development.
Yeah, so what you haven't started in the schools yet? There are plans to.
Yes.
Okay.
And in the third cohort, which by the way will be starting in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
That is when
exactly.
That's exactly when we're targeting.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, I asked the political advisor a question with regards to the timing, also the crowd. We had seen him speaking. It almost seemed like a campaign speech. In terms of doing this now, so that we don't want a situation whereby if the governor does win the second term, that's the end of Skill Up projects. That's why we're asking these questions. That if it's a political, there's a political undertone to it. It seems like a campaign tool.
Well, to quickly answer, you would see you earlier started by acknowledging that is a program targeting 300,000 persons within a 5-year plan. 5 years post-date, 1 tenure in governance. So it is not tied to politics. Maybe because you are just noticing the program. The program's been running, 5,000 has been graduated, another 15 graduated. So it is not because of elections. Just like everybody knows, in Imo, the governance level is quite high now. We have stayed so far without recording one demonstration or one strike action by any industrial union in Imo. Is it because of election? We have stayed in Imo. The workers are receiving their pay as and when due. Is it because of election? It is because the governance mode has gone high, contrary to what people used to see in the state. And in any case, those who criticize, they have a right. It's a democracy. People can criticize. But political envy and jealousy must be sacrificed when performance is enhanced and is being seen to be played. We have run a government that has been scandal-free in Imo for almost towards the conclusion of the first term. So it is not because of election, and this program will outlive even the Uzodimma administration, because it's a program everybody will be happy to associate with and continue pursuing. And mind you, we must bear in mind that Imo also is the first state that established a ministry for digital economy and e-governance, styled after the federal government ministry, because our governor served in the presidential committee. And just like he had hunted Dr. Amadi here for this project, he also had hunted Dr. Uche Welike from the federal primary health care to come and establish that of Imo. That is why we have paid the counterpart funding for our primary health care health insurance policies. He also had hunted our then Commissioner for Finance, Dr. Uzoka, who is presently Minister for Trade and Investment. So this governor has a capacity to identify breakthrough top brains who can help us advance beyond what we are used to in Imo. It is not because of election and will never be for election. So we think he's doing well on it.
Okay, so I'd like to ask about costs. And I also like to go back to the question about funding overseas trip. Who pays for it? How is this project funded? Because I can see a couple of other companies. Are there also partnerships with a couple of other companies, Have recruitment started going on for those that have been trained thus far? Can you talk to me about those three things?
All right, fantastic. This is a fully government-sponsored program. The government of Imo State is bankrolling this.
So it's at a cost to the government?
Of course.
And it's a humongous cost?
It is. It doesn't come easy.
How much is it?
If you think that literacy is expensive, then try illiteracy.
How much is it? Running costs, for instance.
I don't have the figures by heart. Okay. It's something we can get back to you on. But also talking about, you asked about whether the graduates are now getting employed and all of that.
Yes.
There are a lot of examples, even on the graduation day for the second cohort. We had about 8 of them lined up, coming from different companies that have employed them to come and testify. But I would share one interesting story of one of them, who is formerly an Okada rider in Owerri, and who saw the advert and took his chance, went for the pre-admission exam, passed, was admitted, went through the training for 4 months, graduated, and he's today a graphic designer. And what he did was to abandon his bike, and he has started a company on his own, registered with CAC, and he is now providing graphic design services in Owerri. And the man is happier today. He's now saying that he is a CEO. He's no longer an Okada rider. And there are many successful stories like this. And the other part of your question is regards to partners. When you have good policy, people like to buy into it. And part of our pillars is the 6th pillar of the Imo Digital Economy Agenda 2022 to 2026. That's the idea, is collaboration and partnership. That's the 6th pillar. And we've been welcoming partners like Zynos, like Konga, like Wakanow.com, who have seen the success that we have recorded in terms of human capital development for the sector.
Do you have some foreign companies partners?
Of course.
Like which company?
We have Cisco. Cisco is partnering with us. In fact, Cisco have recognized MDEG, which is the Ministry of Digital Economy, Imo State, as one of its prime training center in the Southeast today. They gave us a certificate of recognition, is there. So we are partnering with them. We're also partnering with Cisco. Cisco has also given us the same recognition. So a lot of
Cisco just now.
Sorry, Microsoft rather. Okay. Yes, sorry. Microsoft has also given us that same recognition. So most of our trainings go through Cisco certification, especially in cybersecurity and LAN networking. And they are giving Cisco certification once they do well. And we have been recording high-level top performance each time we go for those examinations. The same with Microsoft. Then locally, you have companies like Wakanow.com who recently established a footprint in the Southeast. Their eastern head office is located in Owerri. It's not up to 2 months. Why Owerri? Because they saw the momentum. They saw that the resources they need to meet their business objective is already provided for through the Skill Up Imo. So they came to us and they hired from us, and those people are working for them. You have Konga, you have Zynox. These are people who are coming on daily to support with one thing or the other. So we are building a force, a digital force, which is a good one. And it is aimed at developing Imo State and building a smart economy in Imo.
Okay, let's also talk about, I'm sure you want to sound off from this, the cost of, going abroad and paying for the fees of the people in the cohort. That's a humongous cost, to the government. What's the rationale behind spending that amount of money? Some people are saying as a state that is bleeding.
Okay, fine. Now, like I said earlier, there are opportunities that are valuable, and there are indigent families. They have the skills, but they are not able to access these opportunities. And the government is coming to support its citizens to be able to make their life better, to make the child of nobody somebody. These things, it doesn't take anything difficult to understand it. Government is there for the people.
Okay, Dr. Chimezie, we seem to be running out of time. Okay. There's something I want both of you to address in the limited time available to us. In that video that was shown earlier on, I thought I saw you standing next to the governor.
Exactly.
And that was the occasion when the governor, still talking about job creation, which is the ultimate purpose of what you are doing, was telling young Imolites that the government is already working on getting jobs for them in Europe, and that once they get those jobs in Europe, the government would, buy them tickets and send them to Europe. What was the number again? About 3,000?
4,000.
4,000 youths. So, and we discussed the subject here. You were there. I saw you in that video.
Exactly.
Yes, tell us. If you are creating jobs at home, what is the thing about buying tickets for people to go and get jobs in Europe? Is it a political strategy? Very briefly, you and the chief political advisor.
Let me correct something.
Yes.
That program was not a political rally. That program is a tech walk organized by the Ministry for the graduates of the second cohort. So we conducted a tech walk to create awareness and to let people know that there are also opportunity for them to come and acquire fourth industrial revolution skills in Imo State. So the youth have massively embraced this. It was along that side of that walk that we stopped over at the government house gate, and the governor came to greet his children. Okay, so these are graduates who are saying, thank you, Your Excellency, for the opportunity you have given to us. Now, to the main question you asked. Now, I don't want to answer with a question, but I want to say this, that today in the world we operate, opportunities are not limited within our own geographical territory. Opportunities abound outside Nigeria. And if you have this massive number of people who have acquired these skills, and the global talent market is yearning for this kind of skill sets to take advantage of it. Okay. So there is every reason why, knowing, if you look at it from that angle, you're looking at it from an asymmetric point of view. Look at it holistically. What is the diaspora remittance to this country today? What about the skills, exposure, the knowledge that they will come back with and transfer and help in building?
Well, yeah, I get your point.
Okay.
Thank you very much. The one major takeaway for me from that video is that I saw you with your cap. Identify with the Gen Z.
When you are with the Gen Zs, you better be like them. Just like the Bible says.
We've run out of time.
Well, I wanted to just say that imagine 15,000 youths going home with laptops in one fell swoop, in one state. And the world will applaud that. The world is theirs to conquer, not the geographical resident of Imo State.
We'd like to thank you very much, Enyenaya Honorable, Chief Political Advisor, Imo State, and Head of the Political Bureau, and also Dr. Chimezie, Commissioner for Digital Economy in Imo State. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And thanks for having us.